Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Bill with a revising strategy for you and all your students. It has to do with what is the best or most effective revision, seeing it differently, organizing it differently in sentence blank. The one that we're going to look at only had 44%. That means out of 100, only 44 out of every 100 students got it correct. So something is not being taught right. So I want to show you a little chant that you can teach your kids, and that'll help them remember when you can start a sentence the way that this one did and choose no revision is needed. Do not let anybody tell you that there are no mistakes that have no mistakes. In other words, don't ever say that you should never pick no mistake or no revision is needed, because that's happening in a lot of places and throwing a lot of kids off, because anywhere from 3 to 5 questions across all grade levels do have no mistake. There's nothing wrong with it, and they're just testing your ability of your students to see if they can differentiate. So here we go. To start with how, why, where, oh, when, you often, not always, but often put a comma then. To start with how, why, where, oh, as in other or opposite. Although she told me that I didn't need to do my homework, opposite, comma, I did it anyway, period, opposite. To start with how, why, where, oh, when, you often, whenever the what you want to call the introductory phrase is short and it doesn't necessarily have a subject and a predicate, you know, called a dependent clause, then sometimes you're going to put a comma. Short ones, the commas are optional, which we found out in some tests. So let's take a look and see what I mean by what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me see if I can do this correctly. I'm going to share my document camera with you guys. So this is 4th grade, number 26, 44%. What? Revision, order, organization, looking at it differently, if any, should be made in sentence 13. Okay, so right away, if your kids are using blank and line paper, they can write a 26, revision, order, organization, etc. Okay, so let's take a look at it. Shift, night after night, comma. Why did they put a comma? Because that was a when. They're telling you when something is being done. He, the pronoun that was being discussed earlier, just kept coming back, period. Okay? period. It's the bottom row of full keys right under the greater than sign. Okay. So you'll have a greater than a 50% chance if your students remember to put a period at the end of a complete thought. Okay. Let's take a look at the process of elimination. Shift. It was night after night, comma, and he just kept coming back again, period. Well, because night after night and again are a repetitious concept, we don't need to tell the reader 2 times that something is happening over and over. Eliminate. B, shift. Night after night, comma, when coming back is what he just kept doing. Okay. It sounds to me like it is an unnecessary change. We already knew he was coming back. He kept doing that night after night. Again, 2 repetitious ideas. C, it was night after night, coming back, comma, coordinating conjunction, 2 independent clauses, and he just kept coming. Well, back, but the repetition of coming, we can eliminate that one. And so when you're going to pick one, in this case, ah, 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 select one, I would choose this one. Let's practice that one more time together so you can practice it with your students. To start, you're going to start the sentence with the shift and then go with how, why, where, other or opposite, when, comma, you often, not always, it depends on how short the phrase is. Sometimes they might have a phrase like last night. That's a very short one. So those commas are optional. Okay. Last night is a when. Let's do a where. Over there. You can have a comma, but because over there is a short introductory phrase telling me where, you don't necessarily need the comma. So both can be correct. Okay. So probably number one cause of getting this is students thinking you're not supposed to pick, no changes needed, no revision is needed. So I would love for you guys to teach that little chant to your students, see if they can remember it and do all of the symbols. I would love you to send me a video of someone in your class doing it, whoever puts the best emphasis. I'm going to give like a little prize to the student that does the best job. And if you don't want to show your student, that's fine. But if you show me the student doing it or the students, the class, then I'll buy a special prize, a gift card to honor those students who put the most effort into to start with how, why, where, opposite other, when, you often put a comma, then, period. God bless you guys. Have a great day.